Hello and welcome to the Basketball England YouTube channel. While we're here, we've got a live broadcast of the WNBL Division 1 playoff final. It's CoLA versus Ipswich. It's a classic. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you follow along the whole way. You can also follow along on socials at NBL England. We've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also, you might as well follow me whilst you're there at Ishania. But yeah, you can follow along throughout the whole day. We've got this. Later, we've got the men's Division 1, and you can follow along the whole way. So I'm here now with Hannah Alty. Hannah, what are we expecting for this matchup? We know it's a classic, two teams. What are your thoughts ahead of it?
I mean, it's CoLA and Ipswich, so what else do we expect? You know, these are the two big giants of the Division 1 league, so we're expecting an absolute battle today. We've got the first winners of the league versus the second runners-up of the league, so it is going to be an absolute fight, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, as am I. I mean, as you said, two powerhouses in female British basketball. We know that they've both got really good programs, both a lot of young players as well. So first of all, let's take a look at Ipswich and see their players. Who are the kind of players that we're looking out for today?
I think mainly today for Ipswich, we've got Hannah Gray. She was the WEABL MVP and she scored 38 points in the semi-final against Brent. She's been out with a bit of an injury, a few injuries in the last few years, but she's really come back really strong. And then obviously we can't not talk about Harriet Wellen. You know, she was last year's MVP. She was also the Cup MVP. She was Cup MVP, and she averages 22.5 points a game. She is an absolute powerhouse for them. She's, you know, really good at leading the team, and she's really strong when she's going to basket. And also, I think she mainly runs their offense for them. She's just a fantastic all-rounder on the court.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ipswich have got a lot of depth. And I'll take a look at CoLA. You did mention Ipswich had a few injuries. CoLA, I have been a bit knocked over by injuries this season, but what are we expecting from them? Who are the better players?
I mean, for them, we've got Isla Habart. You know, she was voted the Under-19 Player of the Year for the National League, and she's just an absolute powerhouse when it comes to, you know, leading the team and bringing the ball up the court. She's a very dynamic guard, and she's really, really strong. And I think for her, she's going to be really a key player today for CoLA.
Yeah, definitely. We're really exciting matchup. And then, I mean, we can't say not anything about the coaches on both sides. We've got Nick Drain versus Jackson Gibbons. It's also going to be a large factor in the game, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You know, I think both coaches are absolutely fantastic, and they've got a system that they've implemented that they really believe in, and they get their players to believe in. You know, these are two academy programs as well, and they are just so structured that I think, you know, their success is just evidence of the hard work and the commitment that these coaches put in.
Yeah, I mean, they just match up so well.
They really do.
But yeah, it'll be a really exciting game. Have you got any more thoughts on it, Hannah?
I think for me, you know, we've got to really look at as well some of the younger players coming to them. So for Ipswich, we've got Maisie Keys. You know, she's got this fantastic spark to her, and she's got bringing a real edge to the way Ipswich play. And then I think, you know, we've got for CoLA, we've got Adora Diorama, she's just such a strong interior player. She crashes the boards at both ends of the court. She's just absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see her battle today.
Yeah, thanks, Hannah. So it's going to be a great matchup. Follow along on the NBL England channels. You can follow along on the YouTube. We've got live stats. Again, follow along on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole lot. I did also interview the coaches before the game, so it'll be really interesting to see how they react to each other. Do you not think?
I really will. I think, you know, you've got Jackson Gibbons, who was awarded Coach of the Year again this year for the National League. And I think as well, you know, for somebody like him with his history, and then coming up against Nick Drain, who's just bringing back success after success. You know, they won the Cup final back in January, and again, I think for Ipswich, they've just got this system that they like to play, and it works. You know, and I think Nick Drain is part of that success. He's heading up that success, and I'm really excited, not only just for today, Nisha, but also to see where the future is going to go for both of these clubs.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, finally, just looking at CoLA, I mean, this season, maybe they've not been as successful. I mean, it's weird to say, despite the fact that they won the league, they've not been as successful normal. But, you know, if you look at other leagues, I mean, the Cup final, they didn't make it there, unfortunately. Looking at WABL finals, unfortunately, their women's team didn't make it there. Ipswich were in the Cup final, were in WABL, and they won both. So I think for CoLA, this is kind of like a must-win game for them.
I think that's a really good point. I think for them, you know, they won the league last year, you know, they won playoffs last year, so I think for them, you know, this is a repeat. But like you said, they've missed out on other chances of silverware this year. So I think for them, this is a must-win. You know, it's a chance to regain that momentum that they have and be able to keep building on their success as well.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to do that. But before we get on with the game and we go over to John, Kaz and Chrissy, we're going to take a look at some coach interviews that I did before the game. I spoke to Coach Jackson Gibbons and Nick Green before the game just to catch their thoughts. Right, so Nick, it seems like every single time at a final I'm talking to you. So coming into this game, I mean, cup finals, you've already got it sorted. What is the feeling coming into this game now?
It's an opportunity to finish the season the right way against, the league champions, the best team in the league. So we're up for the challenge, but we know it's going to be probably the toughest game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that you've faced quite a few times. I mean, some could define it as a classic, kind of CoLA Ipswich classic. So knowing it's this team, does that make it you guys want to win it even more playing against CoLA?
I think that would be unfair to the other finals that we've been fortunate enough to play in. But of course, if you want to win championships and you want to be considered one of the best, then I've always said CoLA are the gold standard. So if you're going to win a championship, you've got to get through CoLA at some point. So why not in the final? It's the showcase event in front of this capacity crowd here in Manchester.
Yeah, so you've played them twice, obviously, in the regular season. You beat them once and they beat you the other time. So how's the preparation been like knowing that start?
It's been good. It's been a good week of practice. We've played each other so many times. It's going to come down to who plays better on the day, and there's going to be all sorts of components that go into that.
So Jackson, this is the final. Obviously, you've been here quite a few times. You won the league. You've played Ipswich quite a few times. You won them. This season, you beat them once. They beat you the other time. What has the preparation been like coming into this game?
Preparation's been as good as we can ask. We've had a season that's been decimated by injuries. We've lost two of our main players, and our mentality is always to coach the next person up. And I think the girls have done a fantastic job of rallying, being around each other, and being focused. And so, we're ready. We're as prepared as best we can be, and we're looking forward to the game. It's always a challenge against Ipswich. You could literally toss a coin, and whoever plays better is going to win. Nick just said the same thing to me just now, and I'm in agreement. It's whoever plays better will win the game.
Yeah, it's an exciting matchup. I mean, everyone loves to watch it. But if we look at kind of this season again, your team obviously won the league. Cup finals, unfortunately, didn't make it there, and Ipswich were able to come on top. So looking at the team now, what is the mood amongst the team going out playing against Ipswich? Are they coming out fighting?
I mean, it's always going to be a battle. You could play this game behind closed doors in a sports hall with no spectators. Both teams are going to go toe-to-toe, and it's an added incentive that there's a championship on the line, but there's also, a lot of pride, and both teams want to win. We've got, huge amounts of respect for them, and vice versa. We feel it, and so, yeah, it's kind of like Eubank and Ben last night. Like, we've got two, great teams that are going to go toe-to-toe for 40 minutes, and I just hope it's a good game and it provides a good spectacle for, WNBL1 basketball.
All right, thanks, Jackson, and good luck in the game today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is day
Jackson,
2 of the Basketball England Playoff Finals 2025, and it is the WNBL Division 1 Playoff Final between CoLA Southwark Pride and Ipswich Basketball Club. John Hobbs, Kaz Bullock and Christina Karpova on hand to guide you through the action for today's game. And Chrissy, welcome. And this is a game between two teams that you know very well. You've played them multiple times. What are the similarities between the two teams as we head to tip-off?
I think they're both very good running teams, so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of fast breaks, quick game. If Ipswich is going to start hitting their threes, it's going to be I would want to say Ipswich game, but if not, then it would be a very interesting game, and also CoLA top defending team, so I am looking forward to today's game. It's very exciting to be here.
And Kaz, of course, an amazing history between these two teams. Since 2018, 24 titles have been decided with these two teams. What is it about these two academies that just stands out from the rest?
That's an incredible stat, the achievement from these two teams. But I think it's just a real testament to both of the organisation's programmes. And Chrissy mentioned it before, but you tend to have the best offence versus the best defence. So Ipswich offensively minded, CoLA defensively minded. And because that comes through up to the different age groups and different academies and different teams, it's always going to be a really fun, exciting battle. And that's the nature of basketball, best offence and best defence.
The two lineups starting with Endeavour Ipswich basketball. And Chrissy, a lot of great names in that lineup. Of course, Hannah Gray has been absolutely on fire in the playoffs. Harriet Wellham as well, another key player to look out for.
Looking forward to seeing Harriet and Hannah playing, and also having Louisa starting, as well as having Maddie on the bench. It's just amazing. That team is so stacked, and yeah.
And for CoLA, of course, they've been here before, Kaz, haven't they? CoLA under the guidance of Brian the Guru, Jay Williams and Jackson Gibbons. You know, star players for you that have stood out this season.
I mean, Isha and Hannah mentioned them before, but Adora Diorama, her inside presence is going to be absolutely key for today's game. She has been a menace on the offensive boards throughout the quarterfinal and semi-finals, averaging 6 offensive rebounds a game, and alongside her, Isla Habal, the under-19 player of the year. She is just one of the best scorers, I'm going to say she's got the best handles in the league, and she's just a really effective all-round player.
Diorama will be amongst the starting 5 for CoLA, alongside Iri Bouquier, and obviously there's another player as well, Isla Habal, another player that we've mentioned that will stand out today. She's also in the starting lineup. Deborah Wilson, Ozawide, and Chandra Jones-Aya completes the starting 5 for CoLA. The starting 5 for Ipswich: Hannah Gray, Maisie Keys, Karis Leach, Harriet Wellham, and Louisa Gibbons. 3 officials taking charge of today's game. Crew Chief Luke Doe, Lewis Walker-Everton, and Andreas Sevchenko are the 2 umpires. And the latest chapter in a 2 legendary academies will get underway momentarily. And CoLA get the first possession up and running, and an out-of-control start for Habal. Here is Gibbons. Wellham. Gray. Gibbons along the baseline. 8 to shoot already for Ipswich. Wellham calling for a screen. Shot clock is winding down, so Harriet Wellham's got to get a move on. Puts it up, and it's no good, but Louisa Gibbons under the hoop is wrestled to it, and the possession arrow will stay with Ipswich. A statement of intent there.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to see from CoLA coming out straight away. That defensive pressure that they're putting on, trying to run the shot clock down and force Ipswich to take a shot late in the clock or a difficult shot.
Early doors in the WNBL Division 1 final. Wellham along the baseline, that's long. And away comes Jones. And Diorama under the hoop, can't get that to drop, but it will stay with CoLA. Of course, Ipswich are very outside, like to run in the open floor, and CoLA very regiment, very methodical in their approach. Hubble with the step back, that's a long 2, and that's short as well. So both teams really struggling from the field to start out. Here is Gibbons. And Gibbons gets it back from Keys. Keys has it. And good defense there from CoLA. And here is Hubble.
And sometimes it can be a case that teams just needed to see the first shot go through the basket, and it's going to open things up.
Jones-Aya losing the ball, picks it up. And Ozwide passing it off, and scramble under the hoop. And ball goes out of bounds. It will stay, it will actually go to Ipswich as Buckier ran out of room. There is Gray, of course, an electric playoff run for Hannah Gray. Driving to the hoop, Gibbons is inside, and that's the first score of the game.
That's it. That's what we want to see from from Hannah. It's just like the passes to Louisa, and Louisa always there. Like, she's always ready for those little putbacks, and that's what you get, your first points.
She's always right place, right time, as Louisa Gibbons.
She is, yeah.
Shot clock winding down, though, for CoLA as Hubble puts up a long 2. That was actually a 3, but that was short. And CoLA's struggles from the field continue. Here is Keys. Finds Leach. Leach to the basket, too strong. And it's rebounded by Hubble. CoLA just struggling to get into a rhythm offensively at present. Oswede driving to the basket. That's the first score for CoLA.
And that'll be, that'll give them a lot of confidence seeing the ball go through the basket. And Deborah Wilson-Oswede, certainly someone to watch. She stepped into the shoes of Chloe Vella really well since she went down with an injury.
Gibbons, turnaround, beautiful footwork, and she will go to the foul line for 2. And that's something about Louisa Gibbons. Her footwork and her creativity is absolutely off the chart.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she can do everything. She can shoot a 3, she can dribble the ball. She's an all-round player. She can literally do everything.
11 points, 14 boards in the quarter-final win against Loughborough. 4 of those were offensive, and then she had 12 points, 19 boards in the January's National Cup win against Brent, and a player that really can do it all, especially under the hoop.
She certainly can, and she's also 5th in the league in assists per game, so she's an inside presence, but she's going to facilitate.
3-2 in favour of Ipswich in a very scrappy opening thus far. Diorama loses the ball, and away come Ipswich. Another turnover to start for CoLA. And the ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with Ipswich. And just a little more animated than usual, Jackson Gibbons on the sideline. Of course, the Division 1 Coach of the Year. Wellham misses everything. And Bouquet with the rebound. Here is Hubble. Hubble, quick burst of speed to the basket.
Lovely basket.
That is what she's been doing all season long. She's so quick, she's so fast, and she's got a great turn to get inside.
Absolutely.
Gray. Wellham back to the basket, now to the foul line. Looks for Gibbons, finds her. 6 to shoot for Ipswich. Gibbons, beautiful move.
Absolutely amazing. Like you said, John, her footwork is just great.
A little press here for Ipswich as well, putting pressure on CoLA. Diorama to the basket, gets bumped, still puts it in. Now we see both teams finding their groove. Gray to the basket, wild shot, and it's rebounded by Jones-Aya, and away come CoLA. A rare open floor opportunity for CoLA, and Jones-Aya will go to the foul line.
And Jones-Aya, she draws the most fouls in Division 1 this season with 127. She leads the league in free throw attempts and made free throws. That is what she is going to do, and that is what CoLA are going to need her to do today if they're going to come out on top.
She had 7 of her 11 points in the semi-final win against Angela Ruskin from the foul line, and as you say, a player who loves to attack the basket, one of those rare CoLA players that likes to run in the open floor as well. Well, she makes the first.
Yeah, I think when we played with them, our coach always said, you just got to step back a little bit, let her shoot. We don't want her to the basket because her free throws as well, they're like, she makes them.
Here's 70% from the stripe this season. Chandra Jones-Aya, as substitutions will come in for CoLA. And Monife Abidekin comes in for the first time for CoLA. Here is Keys. Finds Gibbons. Wellham along the baseline. Wellham's driving, and Wellham gets it to go and foul.
I think that's what she needed. She just needed the ball to go through the basket, and I think that's all she needs, and now she can play her game.
That's a first foul on Deborah Wilson-Ozawide as we look at the replay. And Harriet Wellham, how many times have we seen that over the years? 27 years young and just driving to the basket with no regard.
And she's just such an efficient player in everything she does. Such an explosive scorer.
Missed the free throw though.
That was entirely my fault.
They don't exist, commentators' curses, I swear. As CoLA have a 1-point lead, Ipswich looking to take that lead. Keys has it. Gibbons, the extra pass. Swept wide, welcomed by Keys. Corner pocket three is no good. And Wellham comes up with it, full head of speed, but loses the ball, and CoLA will get it back.
And you see there, Chandra Jones-Ayer diving in for the ball, gets the rebound. She's not one of the taller players out there on court, but she is fighting for every board. 6.5 rebounds a game so far this season. She works on the glass.
Nearing the halfway point of the first quarter, and it's a low-scoring, tightly contested first quarter, pretty much just how CoLA like it, and a scrappy defensive sequence for Ipswich, and it results in a foul.
Yeah, what CoLA do really well is they force other teams to almost play the game that CoLA want them to. Slowing teams like Ipswich down works really in CoLA's favour.
And Maddie Warmold comes into the game for the first time. She had an electric start to the season, averaging close to in fact, averaged a double-double of 16 and 10 coming into 2025. And ended with 15 and 9. And another player that really can get it done. Like you said, Chrissy, a player that can come off the bench. That's a bonus for them, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, she's amazing. Her, just like you said, she's got double-double pretty much every day.
As Aberdeen with a long shot. That's a three-pointer. Here is Warmold from the corner. A three-pointer to answer. No. Diorama with the rebound. And a wild pass from Hubble finds no one but an Ipswich player. Here is Warmold. Extra pass. Gray has it. Gray to the hoop. Left-handed layup is good.
And she's so good at doing that, is Hannah Gray. We saw her in the WEABL final about a month ago. She was just that left-handed lane. She's going to take it.
And that defensive sequence, and it gives Ipswich the ball back.
And we saw that Hannah Gray and for the semi-finals against Brent as well. She did that left. She just loves the left side, doesn't she?
Lovell Green comes into the game for the first time for the Pride. Ipswich at the moment shooting just 27% from the floor as Wellham goes window and down.
This is what Harriet Wellham does every day.
She just makes it look easy, doesn't she?
I know, it does. She does make it look so easy.
Almost
it
effortless.
Really isn't.
Here is Hubble. Hubble now driving to the hoop, pulls up the two. That's off to the left. Hubble will get it back, but misses the ball. Wellham dives for it. Body's on the floor. And it will stay with CoLA. 3:52 remaining here in the first period.
Plays like that from Wellham just really set the tone. You know, she's a real leader out there on court. She's diving on the floor, going to go to grab the ball, and it really makes the team, you know, they see that, they're going to go after it too.
Definitely. She's a great leader. Having Harriet Wellham in your team, you're going to enjoy basketball so much.
Wilson-Ozawide for three. That's off the back iron. Look at Hubble just racing for it, but Gibbons picks it up. And now Warmold, room service for Maddie Warmold.
This is what I was talking about. They just both love running, so the fast breaks for them, both teams, and you could see it from Ipswich.
Pull-up jumper rattles in for Aberdeen. That's her second field goal. And now straight away in the open floor, Warmold misses the two inside. It's picked up by Hubble. Pace is quickening a little bit here. It's Ipswich's game, but CoLA are matching them as Diorama backs down Gibbons. Good defense from Louisa Gibbons.
Great defense.
And still a lot of time on the shot clock, but that's one of Louisa Gibbons' strengths. Not known as a high-volume scorer, but defensively, just a strong asset.
Definitely.
And she does all those things that don't show up in the stat sheet as well. The way she positions herself, she might flip the ball out of bounds.
but
really tough defender.
5 to shoot for Hubble, needs to do something with it. Abedeckan loses the ball, it will roll out of bounds. And the referee's just double-checking what the call is as the shot clock went off.
I think they called it CoLA ball, but then the shot clock went down, so that means that it's going to be Ipswich ball.
So we're just having a double check to see what is going on. As you said, Chrissy, the ball went out. They called Ipswich ball, so there should be some seconds on the clock. So both teams have been called to the benches, and it gives us a chance to just take a breather because it started slow, this WNBL1 final, didn't it? But it's really picked up the pace, and you know, we mentioned that favours Ipswich, but CoLA are matching them right now, Kaz.
They certainly are, and we do talk about CoLA being a defensive-minded team, but having a point guard like Isla Habal out there, like, she likes to run and she will play fast. So her dictating the offense and leading the team, that's going to be crucial, and she likes to play that pace. She can match it.
But in the long run, Chrissy, that could really favour Ipswich. This is the game they like to play. As we mentioned, CoLA very methodical in their approach. Yeah, it's a case of how long can that go on? Yeah,
definitely. Like if Ipswich is getting those rebounds and just running and running, they will get those fast breaks. And I think, yeah, it will be really. I'm looking forward to it, and I just, yeah.
So with 2:49 remaining, a little break in play, and before the game, we got the awards for the WNBL Division 1. Jackson Gibbons, of course, Coach of the Year, and sitting behind us, Lindsay Cleary of the Brent Bulls, your good friend Chrissy, getting MVP. Yeah. Must be very proud of Lindsay for her performance.
I thought she deserved it last year as well as this year as well. In Brent, she's been doing so well, and having those double-doubles, that's just Lindsay Cleary to you.
And the partnership her and Judith Fritz had formed with Brent was absolutely fantastic all season long, wasn't it?
It's so fun to watch, isn't it? Like, I want to watch those two forever. You know, they can be playing into their 80s, please. And we'll watch Cleary rebounding, getting it out to Fritz for some threes.
Well, a second has been put on the shot clock, and that was a shot clock violation. Isla Habal got the shot off, but just after the shot clock had expired, so...
Did a good job to get the shot off. Obviously, it's a difficult one with not long on the clock, but Ipswich going to be pleased with that defensive possession.
Both teams shooting around 38% from the field here in this first period. And a foul on the floor has been called on Wilson Ozawide. And that'll be her second foul as well. So 2:39 remaining in the first. And Wilson Ozawide, a really key component of this CoLA team. And Jackson Gibbons will take her out, and Lavelle Green will check back in.
Yeah, she certainly is. She's been absolutely thin, like we said, without Chloe Vella due to injury. Her inside with Adora Diorama has been crucial. So that's going to be interesting to see if CoLA can adjust here without her for a few minutes.
Maisie Key sweeps it, and it's picked up by Green. Green now, full head of steam to the basket, blocked by Gray. Hannah Gray having a block party, and Lavelle Green's invited.
And Hannah Gray has just stepped up every single aspect of her game. She has been incredible. She is built for the big stage.
Habal looking for help, finds it in Green, picked up by Hubble. Hubble finds a bit of a lane, but Gibbons collects the loose ball, swiped away from Jones-Aya. What hustle from Jones-Aya getting to the basket.
That was such a tough move from Jones-Aya, fighting about 3 Ipswich players, it looked like, and then again comes up with the foul call, so she goes back to the foul line, and that's why she's so effective for CoLA at drawing those fouls and getting to the strike.
Definitely, and like you said earlier as well, she's not the tallest player there, and she's still getting those rebounds and getting that foul to get to the free throw line. That's just amazing what she does.
It's something that you were saying earlier on, her willingness to get to the line, really attacking the basket, just fighting for every loose ball. And that's Chandra Jones-Aya in a nutshell, but she misses the first free throw, a 67% shooter, well, near to 70%, excuse me, from the stripe, splits the free throws, and CoLA have a 1-point lead, 2:14 remaining here in the first period of the WNBL Division 1 playoff final. Wellham backing down Green, decides to go glass, misses everything. Wellham picks up the loose pieces, picked up again by Green, and here come CoLA with Hubble. Hubble now, beautiful pass inside, and the finish from Diorama.
Outstanding. This is amazing. This is what Hubble does. It's just she's so intelligent.
And Wellham misses the floater, battling for it with Green. Hubble has it. CoLA now in a bit of a groove at the moment, leading by 3 with around 90 seconds left in the first period. Abedeckan loses the ball. Diorama picks up the change.
And we've just seen 2 really big defensive possessions there, led by Lavelle Green. The stop on Wellham, getting the rebound, securing it for CoLA, and getting out to get a score on the other end.
Hannah Gray, who's been quiet so far, misses her attempt there, looking for a foul. And CoLA again letting fly. That one's long though from Abedeckan. And bodies on the floor again. It's going to go with Ipswich. And traditionally, CoLA not known for their strength from downtown. There are a few players who can let fly. Abedeckan is one of them, as Diorama checks out of the game, and into the game for the first time is Eva Grace Abella.
Yeah, we tend to think of Ipswich as being more of the shooters from outside. CoLA have players out there that can do it, especially Isla Habal.
And it's stolen away from Green off the pass from Gibbons. And Habal loses the ball. And they'll have to reset. Here is Green. Jones-Aya with 34 seconds left in the first period. Jones-Aya bumps Warmall, misses the 2, and away comes Wellham. Wellham all alone amongst a sea of blue jerseys, and she'll go to the foul line. It was 1-on-3, but Wellham fearless as she heads to the strike.
And this is what Harriet likes. Harriet Wellham, this is her type of game when they can run and get those fast breaks, and she can just get everybody on her and then get those fouls and go to the free throw line.
I mean, she's so experienced, isn't she? Like, any kind of play on the basketball court, she's got a reaction to.
Definitely, yeah.
And you've had many battles with her over the years, Chrissy, as well.
Absolutely.
Just as a player facing her, what's it like?
It's so tricky because she can do everything. Like, you can't let her shoot, but then at the same time, she'll post you up and she'll just do a post move against you. So it's quite hard.
Or she'll pass out with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's me putting Chrissy on the spot for today, Dunners. With 22.8 seconds remaining in the first, CoLA have a 3-point lead. And into the game for the first time, Maddie Warren checking in for CoLA. Isla Habal will head to the bench. And Maddie Warren, who's come off the bench all season for CoLA, season high of 12 points against Reading back in March. You know, is a really tenacious competitor, isn't she?
She is, and she's a player that came up through the Richmond Knights, you know, an organisation really well known for developing players and moving on to CoLA.
As Diorama under the hoop, and it's now a 5-point lead. Final seconds of the first period. Here is Wellham, twisting, turning. Gibbons, a 3 in and out, and they'll do it for the first period here at the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. The CoLA players racing to Jackson Gibbons on the bench. A good first quarter for them. It was a slow start, but they have a 5-point lead. And thus far, Diorama has 6 points to lead CoLA, but a very, very balanced scoring effort there, Kaz.
Yeah, and that's what CoLA do a lot. You'll see it throughout the course of the season. The way they spread the scoring, and players that can come off the bench and just contribute. They're a real team effort. You know, whatever a player needs to do to win, they're going to do that.
And 2 of 7 from the field for Harriet Wellham, 6 points. And right now she leads the way, but for the Ipswich players, Hannah Gray only has 2 points. It is early doors, but it's a case of we really need to get some points on the board and really challenge CoLA.
Yeah, it definitely is early, but I also think that they just need 1-3 to go in, and I think when they see that go in, they will feel that rhythm get back in, and that's all they need. And I think Hannah also just needs one basket to go in for her to feel confident again, because I think they haven't seen the basket go through the ball go through the basket for a long time. So I think that's something that will help them just feel confident again.
And that's an important statistic to look at. 0 of 3 from downtown to start Ipswich, and conversely for CoLA, 1 of 4. So, you know, right now Ipswich, who are a better three-point shooting team this season, struggling to start, but as said, there is a long way to go.
And Ipswich is certainly a team that can go on runs, and we've seen them do it all season long. They can just put 20 points up in half a quarter at times. So, you know, it can sometimes just take a quarter or so to get used to, but I'm sure we're going to see them come out and those threes start dropping.
Ipswich shooting 33% from downtown in all competitions this season. Conversely, CoLA just 26. As we get set to start the second period, this is game 1 of 2 today. Of course, coming up later on, the Reading Rockets against Milton Keynes Breakers in the NBL Division 1 final. As we wrap up the Basketball England season for the year 24-25. It has been a really thrilling season, but for the WNBL, it's been such a competitive year, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah. You're looking at the matches of this season, and like every team can just take on every single team. It's been such a fun season to watch and be part of.
Into the game for the first time, Holly Ensol, as Welland puts in a 3 and right on cue, Chrissy.
Yeah, I think that's what they need. I think Ipswich just needed to see that 3 to go in, and I think they can feel the rhythm come back now and then just play their game.
They were absolutely electric from the field against Brent in the National Cup final here back in January. Bit of a slower start here today as Jones-Aya forced to the ground hard, fouled by Holly Ensol.
And that's the 4th foul that Jones-Aya has drawn in the game so far, and that's why she leads the league in drawn fouls. She just is so intelligent at being able to get in the position and know which way she needs to move her body.
Yeah, agreed.
And Jones-Aya with trips number 5 and 6 to the stripe already.
And I think there's no fear there either. She doesn't care who's standing there, she's just going for it.
And that's the pride mentality that CoLA have. So typical of their moniker, the CoLA Southwark Pride, as Chandra Jones-Aya will go to the line for her second attempt, and she'll drain it, and it's 22-18 in favour of CoLA.
And she's had a fantastic season. She's been named in the D1 Team of the Year and the British Team of the Year. She's second in the league in assists with 5. She's just been absolutely brilliant for CoLA this season.
And Harriet Welland put her foot out of bounds, so CoLA will get the ball back. And CoLA now have forced 6 turnovers out of Ipswich in this first half alone.
And 6 points from those turnovers as well, so that's key.
Jones-Aya. Yabala. Jones-Aya gets it back, creates a bit of space. Abedekkan drives. Jones-Aya will drive to the basket. Kicks it out. Warren, 3 is way long. And away come Ipswich, 2 on 2. As Keys drives, here is Maddie Warmold from the foul line. And that's off to the right. And a foul has been called. Ava Grace Abaya getting the rebound there and immediately getting fouled. That'll be a first foul on Louisa Gibbons.
Yeah, Yabella's done such a good job there, getting the rebound, securing it, holding it.
And CCID will come into the game for the first time, the number 11 for CoLA. Diorama also checking in.
It's such a luxury to have 6'5" Yabella head to the bench and then 6'2" Diorama come back in.
Foul on the floor, away from the ball has been called. And it's a foul on Holly Ensol. So 2 quick fouls for the Coppleston student, who averaged 8 points, 9 boards in the WEABL this season. But so far in foul trouble, you see Jackson Gibbons there, pensive as ever, and Nick Drain in his familiar pose.
I think that was a tough call there because she was just up there, and I think
3 is good for Ide.
I think it was a tough call there because she was stood there, and I think Habal just ran into her.
Wellham. Right now, CoLA flexing their muscles, and Ipswich really need to get a score on the board to get a bit of momentum going. Ensol to Gibbons. Gibbons with 3 on the shot clock, doesn't get it to fall, gets it at the second attempt.
Gets her own rebound and puts it back in. That's what Louisa Gibbons does.
That's 5 points, 4 boards for Louisa Gibbons.
She's averaged a double-double this season, the only player apart from Lindsay Cleary to have done that. So effective.
Ide driving to the basket, gets a shot up, somehow over Ensol, and Ipswich will get the ball back. (25-20), early doors in the second period. Here, as you see the Ipswich fans, that legendary trademark Ipswich banner proudly held aloft here in the Northwest. Keys. Ensol, wraparound pass, somehow finds Wellham. Wellham twists, turns, looks for help. 5 to shoot. Warmold a 3 off the back iron, and it's rebounded by CC Ide. And here come CoLA again. And Abedekan can't get that 3 to ball. And CoLA now, we're looking for the offense, we're looking for the defensive rebound. Bit of a miscommunication there, and Ipswich will pick it up.
Well, you can see that CoLA trying to tip the ball out, just not able to get there in time. But again, that's something they do really well, those tipped rebounds. They've been averaging 66 rebounds over the quarterfinal and semi-final compared to just over 43 in the regular season.
Wellham doesn't get that 3 to fall. And Jones Aya, full head of steam to the basket, puts it in.
That's what she likes. That's what she likes. Just goes to the basket.
Straight down the middle, head down.
She uses the glass so well. She flips the ball really high in the air.
Wellham swings it. Warmold on the catch and shoot. That's short. Ipswich really struggling from mid-range and from downtown. And as I was saying that, Warmold puts it in from the elbow.
And I think that's why Jackson has gone to start playing zone against them, because they're struggling on a three-point line at the moment.
27-22 in favour of the Pride. Diorama backing down Ensol on 2 fouls. Diorama misses the 2. Here is Maisie Keys. And she'll slow it down. Keys gets it back. Keys now to the basket. Lovely pass, and Ensol does the rest.
Absolutely amazing. Love watching Maisie play. She sees the court so well. She knew that she couldn't finish that basket, and she just passed that ball to her teammates to finish on with the basket.
Isla Hubble with it. Jones Aya to Diorama. Diorama and Ensol going at it. And Diorama can't get her shot to fall. Good defense from Ensol, standing her ground on 2 fouls as well. As Keys picks up her dribble and gets it back. Gibbons, baseline. And it's rebounded by Jones Aya. And Louisa Gibbons still on the floor and holding her shoulder.
It was just going in to try and grab that. She looked like she was going to try and grab it, force a jump ball, but Jones Aya gets a 4th rebound.
And that's a 2nd foul on Louisa Gibbons.
Yep.
And also 4th team foul for Ipswich this quarter.
Exactly.
With still over halfway to go.
And CoLA have not committed a foul in this second quarter, as Lavelle Green will check in momentarily, but a timeout has been called on the floor, and it's now a 3-point game, and CoLA, who have led for the majority of this contest, is seeing their lead dwindle down a little bit as Ipswich slowly but surely making a comeback. It's not been the prettiest of finals thus far, but Ipswich, they have a big game pedigree, haven't they? And right now they're showing it.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to be struggling a little bit now, because Gibbons is probably going on a bench with 2 fouls, and she is one of the key players at the moment. She's got 7 points. So yeah, we'll need to see someone else stepping up now.
And for CoLA, you know Jackson Gibbons and Brian the Guru will be zeroing in on that, very aware of what's at stake, very aware of what's on the board right there. And as you mentioned, Kaz, 14 fouls for Ipswich. CoLA yet to foul in this quarter.
Yeah, and that's something, you know, CoLA can try and look to take advantage of. They are driving inside anyway, and Jones-Aya in particular is drawing those fouls. So keep doing that because it's working. And if it happens so that you get Gibbons and Ensol into foul trouble, that can be the bonus.
5:35 remaining here in the second period. Thank you everyone for joining us on the Basketball England YouTube channel. John Hobbs, Kaz Bullock and WNBL legend Chrissy Karpova on hand to guide you through today's WNBL Division 1 final. Of course, following on from this, it is the Reading Rockets and the Milton Keynes Breakers in NBL1 playoff final action. Here is Lavelle Green. Ide can't hold on to it, still has it. Diorama. Jones-Aya driving at Maddie Warmold, misses the two. Bit off balance as she put that shot up. That was questionable offense, but good defense. Here is Gibbons. Gibbons on the spin, great body control and the finish.
Amazing again. She knew who was marking her, and she just turned around and just did her post move against her.
She's so composed as Louisa Gibbons. Like, she doesn't panic when anyone's there. She takes her time and she gets the shot off that she wants.
Yeah, definitely.
Diorama. Jones-Aya looking for help. Finds it in Cecil Ide. Ide with 4 to shoot. And a turnover as it goes straight to Holly Ensol. And here come Ipswich. Wellham finds Gibbons. Gibbons doesn't get the 3 to fall. And a wild pass off the offensive board from Holly Ensol. You saw the intent. It was a good intent, but the pass was just a bit strong. And a timeout has been, or substitutions actually, for both teams. Hannah Gray checking back in for Ipswich. And what a story for Hannah Gray. Look, just 19 years of age and so many injury setbacks, and to see her come back right now is a testament to her incredible attitude to this game.
Absolutely. And I was reading her story, and she was saying to all the younger players as well, don't give up.
Yeah.
Like, she was having a hard time. 2 years she was out with the shoulder and knee injury, and now she's back here and having 40 against Brent Bulls.
What a performance in that semi-final. Here is Wellham. Gray will get it back. Gray at the moment only on 2 points, mind you, and a pass that slipped out of her hand. She knew that was a wayward pass.
And that's okay. You just, you know, it happens. You just got to pick up, go on to the next play. Like, absolutely.
Hannah Gray, 31 points, 9 boards in the quarterfinal win against Loughborough, and then 38 points, 14 boards in the semi-final against Brent, averaging 59% from the floor in the playoffs. As Warmold gets the rebound off the miss from Diorama.
I mean, Gray's been huge. She had more points in the first quarter than Brent did in that semi-final herself. And she's just been, like I said before, she's stepping up on the big stage time after time.
And here she is on the ball, falling to the ground, and she will go to the line for 2 shots.
And like I said earlier, all she wants is that ball to go through the basket. Now she's got 2 free throws. She's got time to shoot them. So I think this is going to give her a little boost, and we can see more of Hannah Gray that we saw in the semi-finals. Well,
through the regular season, only averaged 7 points roughly a game, and then has exploded into life in the playoffs. A 60% foul shooter for the season, Hannah Gray. And certainly one of Nick Drain respects her so much for everything that she's gone through in her young career playing-wise, and as she comes up and splashes the second free throw, it's just a testament to how she has taken everything in her stride.
Definitely, and it's also, you know, the approach that she's taken. She says, you know, she's been on the bench for 5 finals and having to watch, but she's still coming back and just supporting the team, doing what the team needs her to do. You know, she's on the bench and she's learning seeing the game from a different kind of point of view, and to come back as strong as she has, I just think it's brilliant. And
in that possession, an 8th turnover now for CoLA, and Ipswich, with that foul shot from Gray, have the lead at 28-27. As we have 3 minutes and 8 seconds left of the half. Here is Wellham looking for Gray and finds her. Wilson Ozawide comes to meet her. Gray, lovely pass inside, and Ensol again, right place, right time. Second field goal for Holly Ensol. Hubble, Jones-Aya, Ozawide to Diorama. Diorama inside to Yabella, finds her an extra pass, but Wellham deflected it. Shot blockers at 1. Hubble's got to put it up. Shot block violation. Great defense from Ipswich, especially around the perimeter.
Yeah, and I think that was a lot of this run now. It's come from Hannah Cray. She had those free throws. She made those free throws. She then had a good defensive stop there, and now she's made that pass, and then they've got 2 points again, and this is what she needed. She just needed that boost, and I feel like Ipswich is now on a little run.
Wellham missed the mid-range jumper there as Jones-Aya goes to the hoop, and Yabella will just slow it down. Here is Hubble at the foul line. That's short. CoLA really struggling from the field in the last few minutes. Maddie Warmold sets her feet. That's short from downtown. Both teams now shooting at around 34% from the field here in this first half. Under 2 minutes to play in the second period. Wild pass from Hubble. Finds Ozawide. Ozawide smacks the backboard with her layup. And Wellham going inside, and finally a score. First field goal in the last 3 minutes. And it forces Jackson Gibbons into a timeout. You see the replay, Harriet Wellham right down Main Street for the 2.
And that's a 17-7 run for Ipswich this quarter, and those last couple of minutes, they've just really upped the pressure, upped the tempo, and as you said, Chrissy, it's been led by Hannah Gray. You know, the stops, getting the passes, and then Harriet Wellham seeing that ball go through the basket. Ipswich feel like they're rolling at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
32-27 in favour of Ipswich. And an 8-2 run in that spell from Endeavour Ipswich basketball, and they've taken the game by the scruff of the neck with 1:34 remaining. Harriet Wellham has 11 points leading the way. Louisa Gibbons flirting with a double-double already, 9 points, 7 rebounds.
And I think something to look for as well, Ipswich with 22 points in the paint to CoLA's 14. Now, throughout the season, it's been CoLA leading the way inside, second in the league. Ipswich was third, but Ipswich have been able to get those drives, get to the basket. We've got Louisa Gibbons underneath the basket, which I mean, that really helps you out. But that's something that CoLA need to try and close down on.
And 8 points off 9 turnovers, 8 points scored by Ipswich off 9 CoLA turnovers as well. Ipswich slowly but surely finding their rhythm, as you see Hannah Gray there has been the instigator, like you said, in this latest spell from Ipswich. Here is Jones-Aya. And Hannah Gray again getting a hand in the way, but Jones-Aya still has it. Jones-Aya gets it back. Diorama backing down Ensol. 4 to shoot. Beautiful footwork from Jones-Aya. Can't get it to fall. On the follow, though, was Diorama.
That was a great finish from Diorama, and that's what she's been doing all season, grabbing those offensive rebounds and putting the ball back in the basket.
Harriet Wellham cannot answer at the other end as we enter the final minute of the half. Abedeckan, no corner pocket 3 there. Ball batted out of bounds. and it will stay with CoLA.
And you see the way that Diorama positions the ball. She's really watching the bounce of the ball. It's very much, she's a lot like Lindsay Cleary, who's able to see the path where it's going to go. And she takes her time and is able to just get in the right position.
Jones-Aya. Hubble, 5 to shoot. That's way off from Isla Hubble.
And that was great box out there from Hannah Gray again.
And that's not something that's going to show up on the stat sheet, is it?
No, exactly, but she's just doing everything. Little things she does is just helping the Ipswich team so much.
Here is Gibbons. Gibbons, as said, flirting with a double-double right now. Diorama smothering. Wellham. Shot clock in single figures for Wellham. Wellham twists, turns, can't score. And the ball is loose and it's picked up by Chandra Jones-Aya. Final seconds of the half, and CoLA will slow it down. Jackson Gibbons screaming at Chandra Jones to slow it. Jones-Aya driving. Lovely kick-out pass, but it can't find Diorama. And Hannah Gray's shot, even though it whacks the seats behind the basket, would not have counted anyway. And that ends the first half here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. And after a promising first quarter for CoLA, Ipswich's great spell really came in the final 4 minutes of the half. And as a result, they lead by 3.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ipswich's little spell was, like we talked about, Hannah Gray was just massive there, and the way she's playing and the way she's just supporting her team is so nice to see. And like I said earlier, they needed somebody to step up, and I think Hannah Gray has stepped up a little bit with that.
And for CoLA, you know, it's been a good first half, not shooting the ball incredibly well, granted, but they're still in this. They've been leading for the majority. They only trail by 3. Really anybody's game, and CoLA, they can fight back at any time.
Oh, it absolutely is. And, you know, when you look at the score like that, a 32-point first half for Ipswich, a team that averaged 78 points per game, CoLA have been able to hold them just slightly under their average. And this, you know, CoLA have been in this situation, and Jackson Gibbons and Brian and Guru are not going to be worried about this. It's just a single possession game. Heading into the locker room, they'll come out, see what they thought worked well, and then make those adjustments in the second half.
Harriet Wellham leads all scorers with 11. Adiora Diorama has 8 for CoLA. Plenty for Isha and Hannah to look at as we go to the half-time break, with Ipswich leading 32 to 29. We almost had a headset falling on us there. But Isha, as she prepares to get her headset on, we'll leave it to her and to Hannah Alty to talk about the half-time, and plenty to talk about, and an enthralling second half to come.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I'm here now, courtside of Hannah Alty. So, Hannah, what a amazing first half action. What did you think of that?
I think it was brilliant. You know, it's been a real battle, and we can see why these two are the top 2 teams in the league. You know, it's been a struggle. The first quarter, we had Ipswich down by 5, CoLA taking that quarter with 20 points, and then now the switch. CoLA have only scored 9 points in this quarter, in the second quarter, with Ipswich taking 17. So it's been a real tough battle, and I think both teams have got quite a bit to say and think about now at half-time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's quite a turnaround for Ipswich. It was great to see them come out and just fight and bring it back, really. So, yeah, if we take a look at Ipswich, what was it about their defence that allowed them to limit CoLA's scoring?
I think for them, they've been really sagging inside, so they've been stopping the driving. They know how effective that CoLA are at driving in the lanes, finding those open paths, you know, and you've got Habal, who's just so dynamic and able to drive to the basket. And I think for her, you know, you've got Jones-Aya as well. She's able to just get by her man. So I think for them, they've been really effective at sagging in and making sure that they're clogging up the lanes.
Yeah, definitely. And then now, just taking a look at CoLA's defence. I mean, whilst they did allow Ipswich to score quite a few more in the second quarter, take a look at the first quarter. Just overall in that first half, what does their defence look like?
I think for CoLA, for them, they've been really effective at playing one-on-one, man-to-man defence. They've been stopping the drives. Ipswich have had some nice looks along the baseline, but I think for them it's really about getting out to those shooters as well. Interestingly, Isha, both teams have only scored a couple of threes. You know, you look at Ipswich are a shooting team, you know, and they've only been limited to, they've only scored 1 3. They've taken 10, but they've only been limited to 1. And I think that is down to CoLA's defence. They're getting out there, they're getting to the shooters, they're putting pressure on those perimeter shooters because they know that's how Ipswich get their points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, people do say about Ipswich, they're one of the only teams that you'll see where players have the green light to shoot threes on a fast break. It's not something we see a lot, but yeah, they are known to be a shooting team. So take a look at Ipswich now, their offense in that first half. How were they able to catch up with CoLA and kind of get a little bit of a lead, but without having that three-point shot?
I think for them, they've been really effective using the inside player. They've been looking at some nice drives and a nice little dish into Holly Ensol. She's had some great looks under the basket. You know, for them, they've had 22 points in the paint, so I think that's been really important for them, is making sure that they're moving well as a team, but looking inside for those little dishes into the big guys.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great to see them kind of rotate through their players a lot as well and see some plays that we don't normally see. But then take a look at CoLA now. I mean, it worked better in the first quarter, obviously, but what do they need to do more of in the second half on that offensively?
I think for them, they need to have a bit more confidence. They are getting to the basket. I just think sometimes you know, you've had Diorama, she's stopped and turned and then passed back out, but she's open under the basket. They need to have some confidence within themselves and put the ball up. So I think for them, you know, they've only had 16 points in the paint. But they, you know, I think for them, they're a tough team and they are really tough defensively and they can bully their way to the basket, and I think they just need to work on that and really kind of maybe get some confidence, maybe settle into it a bit more, but know that they, you know, they'll get into the basket.
Yeah, so whilst we're on the subject of CoLA's offense, which players have been shining out the most so far in this game for CoLA?
I think for me, Chandra's just been so effective. You know, she's been driving to the basket, she's been really hard. I think her veteran leadership as well has really helped the team at the minute. She's been keeping them together. But I think, you know, we've had some really great shooting as well from Abby Deacon. She was fantastic. She hit that 3 in the first quarter, and I think that was really effective for them. But again, you can't not talk about, you know, Diorama. She's got 3 rebounds and 8 points, but again, she's been boxing out. She's doing those things that you don't see on the stat sheets, you know. She's been tough. She's been boxing out Louisa Gibbons and Holly Ensol, making sure that they're keeping away from the basket. So yeah, those 3 for CoLA for me.
And then finally, take a look at Ipswich. Who are their standout players so far?
I mean, Louisa Gibbons, again, 9 points and 7 rebounds. I think we're looking at a double-double there with Louisa Gibbons. Again, she's been really tough. She's been bringing the ball up confidently as well, and it's great to see such an all-round player working effectively, and those are the players that you rely on as well in a final like this. But again, Harriet Wellham, 11 points. We can't not talk about her. And I think for me, you know, with her rebounding as well, 6 rebounds, she's been really tough, driving to basket, drawing the fouls, drawing the contacts as well. So yeah, Harriet Wellham as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're great all-round performances so far, but finally now let's look into the second half. Ipswich, what do they need to do to maintain this lead?
I think for them, they just need to step up their defence a little bit more. I think they were having some really good steals from working the full court press, and I think maybe drop that in a few more times. We know they like to use it quite a bit, and it is effective, so I think that could be something that they could look at.
Yeah, sorry. CoLA. I was distracted by the girls playing behind us, that's fine. Anyway, now looking at CoLA, finally, what they need to do is a little bit better maybe to get that lead like they did in the first quarter. What are they looking to do in the second half?
I think they just need to take some more confidence in their offense. You know, they need to be driving to the basket more, looking at some shots. They've had some great open looks, they've just not taken them, and maybe, you know, have a think about which shots they should be taking. So yeah, I think for me, CoLA, it's all about their offense right now. They really need to just push forward it and have some belief in themselves, and then just, you know, get to the basket.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know that we're going to be in for another great half of action, as it always is with CoLA and Ipswich. So anyway, that's it from me and Hannah Alty at courtside. In a minute, we'll have a break or whatever, and then we're going to go back over to John, Christy and Kaz for the second half action. I'll take you ball by ball. So yeah, that's it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester, where Ipswich have a slender 32-29 lead over CoLA Southwark Pride. Here in the WNBL Division 1 playoff final, John Hobbs, Kaz Bullock and Christina Karpova on hand to guide you through the action in the second half. And there's been a few players that have stood out, hasn't there? Of course, we talk about Harriet Wellham with 11 points, Diorama with 8 for CoLA, but also Aberdeen with 5 has been all over the place in this first half, hasn't she?
Yeah, Monife Abedekin's been brilliant. She's been averaging 4.9 points per game and 2 rebounds so far this season, but in the first half alone, 5 points and 2 rebounds, a +2 in a game that CoLA are down by 3. She's been really effective in her time out there on court, playing just under 12 minutes, but having a player like her off the bench that just kind of brings that energy, and she's doing a lot of work as well off the ball that you know isn't going to show up on the stat sheet. It kind of does in the the plus-minus column, but yeah, she's been great. I'm excited to see more of her in the second half.
And one player, or one stat, that has really stood out for Ipswich, Chrissy, that you were pointing out to us. 1 of 10 for downtown for them, and that's really hurtful, and that's something they really need to work on, because they're a good three-point shooting team, one of the better ones in the WNBL, especially in the open floor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think having Keris on the bench, I don't know if she's hurt herself in the first quarter, but I haven't seen her in the second quarter. And I think Keris Leach is an outstanding three-point shooter, and also Maisie Keys and Hannah Gray. They just need the ball to go through the basket for that three-point to get that confidence back. And also, like what Maddie Warmold as well, she just needs to hit 1-3, and I think that's what Ipswich team needs to
get back into this, essentially.
Get to like 10-point lead or something, just to push that lead again.
They're a team that average 35 three-point attempts a game, and to have 10, and they usually hit 10.5 of those per game, so that's really under their average, but they're up 3, and they haven't been hitting the threes, so that's a really good sign for them going into the second half.
As we get set to start the third quarter, and Chandra Jones-Aya, the number 15 you see right there on your screen, she's had a really promising first half, hasn't she? She's been a little bit out of control as we look at the stats for the first half. She's been a little bit out of control at times, but still has been really strong, really positive, and has led the floor for this CoLA team.
Yeah, she has 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, but she's drawn 5 fouls and been able to get to the foul line 3 times, shooting 5 of 6. So she's going to continue to do that in this second half, and she's going to set the tone out there for CoLA.
So we start the third period. Here is Jones-Aya, and straight away can't get that floater to go. Diorama bumps on Louisa Gibbons, blocked by Ensol. But CoLA will get it back. 5 to shoot. Isla Hubble, a 3 is money.
And that's a great start for the third quarter for CoLA, but also for Isla Hubble as well. She is a scorer, and when, again, we've said, ball goes through the basket.
Yes, Gibbons puts up a 3 to answer, can't get it to fall. Ensol on the follow, and Holly Ensol will head to the stripe.
Ipswich is trying on a three-point line. They want it to go in. They haven't stopped shooting them, but they just need that one to go in to get back on that game.
And I think as well, it's CoLA coming out to that shot, isn't it? You know, they're pressuring them, they're making it difficult for them.
Very
so it's
difficult.
not for lack of trying.
No, exactly. But they are marking them really, really well. I think Harriet hasn't had a chance to shoot threes much. None of them have, really. So that's what CoLA does really good, is their defense is so intense against that.
As Holly Ensol makes the first, and we alluded to this a little earlier with Holly Ensol, only playing around 10 minutes a game, but has really stood out in this season, really showcasing what she's about, as she's missed the second foul shot, but a really promising talent, as Isla Hubble has it for CoLA. Hubble, Diorama, and she kicks it out to Jones-Aya with 9 on the shot clock. Aberdeen at the top, a 3, splash!
That was such a picture-perfect shot, the way she set her feet, got into the shot, absolutely fantastic.
And that's 2 threes in a row for CoLA now.
Yeah. Hannah Gray attacking the basket, going right into the teeth of Diorama. and she will head to the stripe. CoLA now have a 2-point lead, but a chance for Ipswich to tie the game. That's a first foul on Diorama.
Gray did a great job there, driving to the basket, takes the contact, and as we said in the first half, Hannah Gray has really been sort of leading this comeback for Ipswich.
Definitely.
Makes the first foul shot, and the gap is 1. Early doors in the third period, as Jackson Gibbons looks on.
How many times do you think Jackson Gibbons has coached against Nick Train?
Sure, we did actually try to look that up this week, but too many, I think, is the right answer. But as we said at the tops, it's 2018, 24 titles between them in all competitions, WNBL, Junior and WEABL. Hubble inside to Diorama. Shot clock in single figures for Hubble, who drives to the basket, surrounded by Ipswich players. Gets it to Abedekun, who travels with it.
Great pressure from Ipswich as well. You see Habal doubled as soon as she gets inside, makes that pass out. But Ipswich putting the pressure on.
Referee Luke Doe in good position to call the travel. Another turnover for CoLA as Harriet Whelan puts it in from mid-range.
It's interesting to see there. They haven't Maddie and Louisa bringing up the ball, so Harriet can post up and do post move against the CoLA players.
Jones-Aya drives at Maddie Warmold, and the ball goes right out of bounds. The pass was intended for Deborah Wilson-Ozawede, but it went straight out of bounds.
Yeah, I think just going back to Chrissy's point as well, I think that's really interesting for Harriet to come off the ball and to be in those positions to catch and shoot. Like, we see how well she does it, but that seems to have worked the last couple of plays.
Yeah, definitely.
Here is Gray. Gray on 6 points, being hounded by Jones-Aya. Gray kicks it out. Morwald for the 3 is short. Gibbons racing to get it and collects. And that's Gibbons' 8th rebound of this contest. And CoLA have it with Hubble. Hubble straight down the middle. Curves her way inside, misses the layup. And the rebound taken by Whelan. 7 rebounds now for Harriet Whelan. Gibbons all the way to the basket, but misses the shot. As Ozawede will slow it down. Screen set from Diorama. The pick and roll works perfectly.
That's a great pass.
That's a beautiful pick and roll there.
Diorama now leads the way for CoLA with those 10 points.
And the game is tied at 37 as Whelan misses the 2 from 7 feet. Jones-Aya driving at Ensol. Good defense from Ensol. She picks up her own rebound and she'll go to the line for 2. And that's just Chandra Jones is just, that's her game.
It's what she's been doing.
It's what we've said
season.
all game long.
Exactly, yeah. And but she's so effective at doing it, and it makes defenses like they know she's going to do it, but it also makes it really hard for you to try and adjust to it, doesn't it? Because even though you know it's coming, the way she moves, it makes it almost inevitable she's going to get there.
Yeah, definitely. And she has 2 tallest, like the tallest player against her, and she just doesn't care. She's just like, let me just still get it.
No fear whatsoever.
No fear.
She's just going to the basket.
You forget that the majority of these CoLA players are under 19 players as well, and that just speaks volumes to how they're mentored, not just by Jackson Gibbons, but by Jay Williams, by Brian the Guru as well. Just incredible mentors to have down in Southwark.
Absolutely. They've done an absolutely brilliant job with the programme and all of the teams throughout the age groups. And Jones-Aya as well, so she's part of the coaching staff. And having someone like her out there on the court to help you in the game, like, that's invaluable.
Here is Ensol playing the role of point guard as Warmold picks it up. Whelan on 13 from the elbow. That's off to the right. That'll go straight out of bounds, and CoLA will pick it up. And Ipswich right now 14 of 44 from the field thus far.
That's tough, yeah. I think at the moment they're just looking for Harriet to just try and score, and they're not seeing anything else at the moment, and that's really tough.
And Whelan is 5 of 16 from the floor thus far. Abedekun puts it in for 3.
That's her 3rd 3 of the game. Coming off the bench, she has been on fire for CoLA.
5 of 12 from beyond the arc for CoLA. Wellham bumps, gets the 2 up, and gets that friendly roll.
And CoLA, a team that average under 5 made threes a game, so they've turned it on here for the final. And shooting 26% as well. Here is Hubble. Hubble loses the ball. Good defense from Maisie Keys, and here is Keys on the ball. It's 1-on-1. Keys against Hubble, and Keys with the win.
I think that's what Maisie Keys needed as well, just to go to the basket and get that score.
Yeah, first field goal for her, and the gap is 1. Isla Hubble. Abedeckan is feeling it. She puts it up, but that misses everything and goes almost right into the Basketball England staff's laps. I think Jackson Gibbons is going to be okay with that. You know, that was a good look. She's been hitting them. Take it.
Absolutely. She's got a beautiful shot as well.
She's now 3 of 7 from downtown in this game. As Karis Leach coming back into the game, has only played 5 minutes, as you alluded to, Chrissy, but now will come back in for Ipswich.
Yeah, let's hope that she's okay and she can play. And what they need is just need her to hit those threes. I think she needs ones to go in, and that's
it.
A
bit of a miscommunication there, but Leach picked it up, and she will head to the line. She got bundled to the ground. Excuse me, Maddie Warmold got bundled to the ground. And it'll be a in-line possession, baseline possession to Ipswich. 5:14 remaining here in the 3rd period. That's a first foul on Monife Abedeckan.
I think Maddie wanted those free throws. She said she was going for the shot.
But certainly what Nick Drain wanted as well at the other side. He was calling for foul shots too. Here is Gibbons. Leach, a 3. Money.
There she is. That's what Ipswich needed.
That's
She's
what
come
she
back.
does, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what she does. She's been sitting on the bench for so long, and she comes on and she just takes the first shot, hits it.
3 triples in the quarter-final win against Loughborough on the mark here today. Hubble with 8 to shoot. Hubble over Warmold, gets it to go.
And this is what Hubble does.
And how great is it to see players like that just going against each other?
Wellham attacking the hoop. Can't get the fall. And Warmold again goes to ground, clutching her ankle as well, and she's still on the floor. And that's worrying for Ipswich as they crowd around her as one. And you can see the grimace on her face. Let's have a look at the replay. She collected the rebound and was fighting with Isla Hubble for that loose ball, and then just fell. You can see it there, just fell awkwardly.
Yeah, I mean, she's tough, is Maddie Wormold. She's going to just shake that off there, just walk back. You'll see her get back on defense.
Yeah, I think in the final, she just kind of have to walk it off.
Yeah. First season with Ipswich, one of the veterans of this team, that mentorship for those younger players that are coming through the Coppleston Academy. And showing that grit, that toughness, staying on the floor. Ozawide. Hubble. Inside to Green. Lovell Green running into trouble. Hubble a 3. That's way off. But CoLA fighting for the loose ball, and it comes up with Leach. Here is Gibbons. Wellham running into trouble. Still has it. Uses the footwork. And a violation there, as I think Karis Leach stepped out of bounds, so CoLA will get it back.
But the kind of frantic back and forth possession there the last couple of plays, but you know, but these teams are just so evenly matched at the moment. I mean, we're tied at 44 all.
Of course, CoLA in their 5th straight WNBL Division 1 final. Looking to cap it off with back-to-back wins, blocked by Gibbons on the layup attempt from Ozawide. And here is Gibbons, who almost travelled with it, and Leach picks it up. Warmold, a 3 from the wing, that's off the back iron, and it's rebounded by Isla Hubble.
Look how high Isla Hubble jumps in the air to get that ball. She's so bouncy.
Goes to the basket, hangs in the air, can't get the shot to fall. Lavelle Green diving on it, bodies all over the place.
For me, Lavelle Green has had such an impact off the bench. She had 3 steals in the first half, but she is working really hard just to get the ball to her teammates. If she's diving on the floor, just tipping it, just trying to do what she can out there.
Absolutely, that hustle was all her, and that was just amazing to see. Like, she just jumped down on that floor to get that ball, even though Ipswich pretty much had it, and she just hustled and got that back.
Here is Keys. Leach has a bit of room, decides not to go for the 3. Lovely pass inside, and Gibbons the finish.
And where she was as well, she just knew that was little space in there. She knows where to go. She knows where to stand for her teammates to pass her the ball.
In the corner is Ozawide. Ozawide looking for Jones-Aya, finds no one but Keys. Here is Wellham. Wellham gets it back from Louisa Gibbons. Gibbons, burst of speed, gets the layup. No, it falls agonisingly out.
That was such an unlucky play there. She just beautifully got through there, and just so unlucky that didn't go in.
Ozawide in and out with her 3-point attempt, and on the follow is Diorama. 12 points for Diorama.
Diorama has just been fantastic grabbing those offensive rebounds. She's got 6 rebounds, but the way she can put it back in, crucial.
As Leach can't answer back for Ipswich, that's a second offensive rebound and finish this afternoon for that player right there, Diorama. 15 points, 8 boards in the semi-final win against Angela Ruskin, and before that 11 and 6 against Worcester.
Yeah, we saw her have an 18 rebound game against Manchester earlier this season. She's crashing the glass.
Yeah, we were both there for that. That was a heck of a performance. Wellham on the turnaround hits the corner of the backboard, and Diorama picks up her 8th rebound.
That's really good D from Jones-Aya there. You can see it made it really tough for Wellham to get the shot off.
Jones-Aya, lovely pass inside. Lavelle Green goes back to Jones-Aya from the foul line, kicks it out to Wilson Ozawide. 6 to shoot for Diorama. The short hook is short. Gets her own rebound, still has it, tenacious as ever, and Gibbons picks up the rebound. And that's a double-double now for Louisa Gibbons.
Standard Louisa Gibbons.
11 points, 10 boards. Warmold for the 2 is no good. Tied at 46. As you say, nothing to separate these teams, both in the style of play on the court, how they complement each other, and in this final. Hubble, beautiful footwork, hands in the air and scores.
It was a fantastic finish.
She's such an intelligent player, and she's so young.
And it's so exciting to think how much more she's going to develop.
Absolutely.
Wellham. 30 seconds left in the 3rd. Leach swings it. Gibbons at the top. Short. It's rebounded by Hubble.
And Diorama there tipping the ball into Habal's hands, boxing out Wormold so she can get it to her teammates.
She's really good at getting those rebounds over everybody else.
And without fouling.
Yeah, exactly.
Ozawide a 3, no.
There she is.
Just tipping it.
And Hubble again a 3. That's money.
And Isla Habal, that is absolutely what CoLA needed. They've had a good run there to end the 3rd quarter.
She has 12 points, 6 rebounds, and CoLA in the ascendancy going into the 4th and final quarter. They lead by 5.
And Habal had 2 at the end of the first half, so a 10-point quarter for her. And she has really, alongside Jones-Aya, they've been really directing the team, the engines of this team.
And Diorama is 1 rebound shy of a double-double herself. 12 points, 9 boards for her. Harriet Wellham leads Ipswich with 15 points, but certainly that was CoLA's 3rd quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. CoLA was willing this quarter. And like you said, Diorama is just outstanding with the way she just rebounds and she hustles hard. And like you said, she's 1 rebound off a double-double already.
And for Ipswich, it's a case of, you know, where do we go from here? Obviously, there's still a lot of time. They're only down by 5. The biggest lead for either team in this game has been 7 points. So anyone can get the W at the end of the day, lift the trophy aloft. But Ipswich have a lot to do because CoLA right now have really stood out in this third quarter.
Yeah, they have. It's been a 22-14 run for CoLA this quarter. I think for Ipswich, you know, the 3 isn't really falling for them. We saw Kerry Fleet come on hit one, but 30 points in the paint to 22 for CoLA. So keep driving, keep going to the basket. We've seen that handoff to Louisa Gibbons underneath. Harriet Wellowens is there. So I think that's, you know, if the 3 isn't going to drop, take a look at that.
So it is the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth and final period here in Manchester. And a Manchester Mystics player, Kizzy Spence-Muzzington, just hit a half-court shot.
That does not surprise me because Kizzy Spence knocks down threes from anywhere. She could be standing in reception and hit a 3.
She really does. We played there just recently. I think one of our last games was against Manchester. Kizzy Spence was just killing them on the three-point line.
Well, we didn't actually see that on camera. Your focus on the stream was focused on us, but one eye was on that. But we're going into the fourth quarter. Ipswich trail by 5. Still a lot of time for them to come back. As said, the biggest lead of the game for either team has been 7 points, as Isla Habal and Adora Diorama lead the way for CoLA with 12 each. Harriet Welland leads all with 15. And here we go, final 10 minutes of the WNBL Division 1 season. Here is Habal, Jones-Aya, who had a fantastic first half. Lavelle Green driving. 3 to shoot, Hubble's got to get it to dance. She puts it up, it's way off.
I think that was an amazing defense from Ipswich. To get that 24-second, that was really what they needed to start that full quarter.
That gives you such a boost, doesn't it? You know, we come straight out of the quarter break, got to stop, chip into it.
Absolutely.
Keys to Leach. Here is Hannah Gray. Leach still has it, kicks it out. 3 is up, 3 is long from Maisie Keys. And a whistle had come before Hannah Gray could get the layup to go.
They are still looking for that 3, and it's just not happening for them today. I think they just need something different. Like we were talking about earlier, it's just go to the basket, and when the help comes, give it to Louisa, and she just puts them in. That's what they need to do, I think.
1 of 10 from downtown at the half, and 1 of 7 in the third period for Ipswich. Hubble, who'll put it up herself, and she'll splash a long 2.
That was so high in the air.
It's beautiful. It looks really nice as well. It's just so high.
It's a brilliant shot.
Hannah Gray to Wellham. Wellham smashes the backboard. Gibbons another rebound and a jump ball, and that will favour Ipswich. It's been a very competitive, very physical playoff final, as you would expect between these 2 legendary academies.
I mean, it's always so fun when they match up. You are guaranteed a great game.
And now Jones-Aya can break. Here is Isla Hubble on the spin. Turns, puts it up, is short. It's rebounded by Hannah Gray. And the ball is deflected. That'll be a CoLA ball. Isla Hubble again at the heart of the defense.
She's just got her fingerprints all over this game. She's just doing a bit of everything out there.
She really is.
And again, that's something that, you know, it's not a steal, but it's so disruptive. She's a really disruptive defender.
Here is Hubble to Ozuibe. Looking for Diorama, pass is deflected, and it will go out of bounds.
That was a great hustle there from Karis.
Well, in fact, the foul has been called, excuse me. It's not going to go out of bounds. It will go to Ipswich anyway, and that's a first foul on Isla Hubble. And that's another thing we haven't spoken about with her, is she stayed relatively out of foul trouble, as of most of the CoLA players at the moment. Only 2 players are on 2 fouls.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of that. And for someone that plays as tight and as tough defence as she does, she's very disciplined and very controlled.
Wellham. And again, the pass deflected this time.
It's just hands everywhere.
Yeah.
Against CoLA, it's really tough to pass the ball there. And Ipswich is playing with 4 guards and just 1 big. So they've gone short, trying to see if they can get those 3s to maybe go in.
Wellham inside. And Harriet Wellham will head to the stripe.
It was a very tough take from Harriet Wellham.
That's really interesting that you mentioned that, Chrissy, as well, because we see Holly Ensel, she's been a +4 in her time on the court, one of the tallest player out there on the floor. And with her and Gibbons inside, it seems like they had success there. So to go small, kind of changing up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think what Nick Drain is thinking is maybe we just need to try and see if those 3s are going to go, because this is Ipswich. 3-pointer is an Ipswich kind of game. And so I think this is what they're looking for. But I think at the same time, CoLA now can see that they are short, so we can use that to our advantage.
Harriet Wellham now 2 of 4 from the foul stripe, an 82% shooter from the stripe this season. Narrowly missing out on Player of the Year for WNBL Division 1 to Lindsay Cleary. MVP in the cup final in January against Brent. Makes the second, she moves on to 16. Oswede now the first CoLA player on 3 fouls this afternoon. Jones-Aya to Hubble. Hubble dancing, drives it to Oswede. Oswede meets Wellham, and that's a travelling violation, and that's good defence from Harriet Wellham, anticipating exactly where Oswede was going to go.
Very tough defence, just standing there and just getting that charge.
As you see it there.
I mean, that's experience.
Yeah.
Like, Harriet Wellham knows exactly where to stand and say again. She puts her body on the line for Ipswich every single game.
Yeah, I was just about to say, she does not care if she's on the floor or not, and she gets up and just does it again.
Of course, in her first year as a junior coach for Ipswich as well, as the ball is all over the place. Diorama has it. And Diorama can't hold on to the ball, but CoLA still have it, and Hubble will slow it. Deflected, but still finds Green. 8 to shoot for CoLA. Jones-Aya picked there from Hannah Gray. And Hannah Gray is fouled, and offensively hasn't really been getting it done, Hannah Gray, like she has in the other games in the playoffs. But defensively, like we've said, almost all game long, she's been absolutely fierce and tenacious.
Yeah, that was really good defense, getting her hands in there and then getting that foul after as well. Great play there.
And that's a sign of a great player as well, isn't it? If her shot's not dropping, but she's doing everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lavelle Green hits the deck. Play continues. Green gingerly makes her way back up, and Louisa Gibbons travelled with it at the top. And Nick Drain really unhappy with the call, as Lavelle Green will come out and walk in gingerly to the bench as Monafe Abidekan comes back in.
And Abby Declan was that real spark in the third quarter as well, up to 11 points, hitting those 3 threes. I'm excited to see what she does now coming out in the fourth. Had 13 points in the Under-18 Women's National Cup Final against Ipswich in January. Here is Hubble. 9 on the shot clock for Isla Hubble. 3 from the wing is money.
Wow, that was very high again. That 3, Isla Hubble. Wow.
And the way she moves into it as well, like it's the perfect shot.
Wellham to answer, no, can't get it to fall. CoLA now 7 3-pointers in this contest. Jones-Aya. Jones-Aya to the basket, blocked by Gibbons. Biggest lead of the game though for CoLA. That would have placed it to double figures. And the pass from Gray, overcooked. And it will go out of bounds, and CoLA will keep it. and it's a timeout for Nick Drain, and CoLA flexing their muscles a little bit here, Kaz.
Yeah, you feel like the momentum has kind of swung a little bit. CoLA really gaining confidence. Shots are falling, and their defense has been so strong. And like she's saying, the three not falling for Ipswich, they don't really seem like they've adjusted too well to that, but CoLA have been able to take advantage, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. And Al-Habar hitting those threes is just outstanding.
I mean, she's up to 17 points and 7 rebounds.
That's the MVP there, maybe. But yeah, very, very good start with the CoLA. Definitely, like you said earlier, that they usually hit 5 3-pointers, and they're already on 7, and we still got 6 minutes to go. It will be interesting to see how many can they finish with.
Certainly will. So we talk about earlier on the MVP, Lindsay Cleary, Jackson Gibbons getting Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, of course, highlighted by Lindsay Cleary, and Chandra Jones-Aya, of course, in that conversation with Harriet Wellham, Isabel Booth of Anglia Ruskin University, and Isla Hubble deservedly in there as well. That's a strong Team of the Year, isn't it? And really well deserved for those 5.
Oh, it really is, and they've all been incredible for their teams throughout the course of the season, and now it's so good that they're recognised in such a way.
And Chrissy, for you, another good friend of yours, Nina Wallace of the Worcester Wolves, getting Defensive Player of the Year. A very well-deserved award for her, for the Wolves and for her.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Playing against her, she was just, her hands were everywhere. What a defensive player. Absolutely outstanding player as well.
She's an outrageous defender, isn't she?
Outstanding. Yeah, that's just amazing. Yeah, and she's so speedy as well. She gets those steals and she's gone. And it's just like, where has she gone now?
Ball's in the basket.
Isla Hubble at the top, 8 to shoot. Step back 2, deflected by Keys. They still have it, but Ipswich now pick it up with Gray. Gray, Wellham in rhythm. That's off the back iron. And Walmart collects the offensive board, looks for help, still has it. 8 to shoot for Ipswich. Gibbons a 3, and their struggles continue from downtown.
He really isn't going for them today. I think they do need to think of something else.
2 of 19 from beyond the arc. They do have 30 points inside as we enter the halfway point of the 4th.
I don't think I've ever had Ipswich shoot 2 from 19.
Oswede, that came off the window there, but didn't get it to fall, and a foul has been called on the floor.
And Diorama just getting that rebound once again, over the hands.
And just on that possession, I don't know if you'll see it on the replay, but Isla Habar was talking to Coach Jackson Gibbons on the sideline, just passing absolute perfect no-look pass while still discussing with the coach on the sideline. I think that's fantastic.
That's why I think she's one of the most intelligent players in the league.
Well, they're an incredibly intelligent team altogether, CoLA, and we'll touch on that in just a second as Jones-Aya will head to the hoop, driving to the basket, can't get the fall, gets her own rebound and puts it up and in.
That was so tough from Jones-Aya.
That was amazing. Those hands just tipping that ball off.
Gray misses everything with her 3-point attempt, and CoLA, who have their biggest lead of the game, they're in double figures at 11, have a chance to extend it further to 13.
Jones-Aya is looking at a double-double here, 9 points and 9 rebounds.
Abedekun to Hubble. Wilson Oswede puts it in from downtown. And right now, CoLA are ballooning their lead. Gray, behind the back, loses it. Hubble has it.
It's those quick hands from Isla Habar.
And I just love how she just chills now. She's just like, let's take it easy now. We are not in a rush. We are leading. We can play long. Such a great leader as well.
Jones-Aya to Hubble, 4 to shoot. Wilson Oswede, Jones-Aya, they've got to put it up. Good defense from Harriet Wellham, who is all business as she lobs it to Gibbons. Gibbons inside, met by a sea of CoLA players.
And Isla Habar on the floor once again. Such a hustle player.
And to be able to lead a team like she is at her age, you know, she's playing under 19s, isn't she? It's such a great skill and quality to have at that age.
As Holly Ensol comes in and again dusting themselves back off, CoLA getting on with it. Jackson Gibbons barking instructions to his team. And CoLA, who never moan, they never complain, they don't even talk to the officials. Jackson Gibbons does not allow them to chat to the referees during the game. They just get on with it. And right now, are up 61 to 47. Diorama inside, you can count that lead to 63-47.
What a pass there from Jones-Aya, that was amazing.
That's her 4th assist of the game.
She's just been doing a bit of everything, has Jones-Aya today.
She really has. Tough defense and just getting to the basket, scoring, passing, rebounding, just everything.
As you say, 1 rebound shy of that double-double, 9 boards and 11 points. As Aberdeen with her 2nd foul. As the replay was going, Maddie Warmold was driving to the hoop.
Isla Habal also a rebound off a double-double as well.
That's why I have you here, just in case I miss out on things. Here is Ensol. Ensol over Diorama. Good defense from Diorama. It was a good shot attempt, though, from Ensol. And another whistle has gone.
I don't think Jackson is really happy with that foul.
And that's what we were saying earlier. Even though it was a tough call, the players refusing to talk to the referees, letting Jackson Gibbons handle it. And that's, in a way, I know, Chrissy, you're here as a player, but that's a refreshing thing to see, isn't it? Silence befalls you both. You obviously didn't agree with me.
No, but I think you can see there as well, and Jones-Aya on the court, she just gets her team together there and says, you know, look, that foul's happened, this is what we need to do. So it's...
Just in case you were wondering, Chrissy Karpova was giving me an evil look as I said that. The beef starts here.
But I think that, you know, Jackson Gibbons' approach and the what he instills into the team is a really fantastic outlook.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, John. It is, like, we shouldn't be talking to the refs, but...
As Habel got it stolen by Gray. Diorama still has it, shot clock at 1. Aberdeen has to put it up, and she knocks it down! What a shot from Monify Aberdeen!
That is amazing. That is her 4th 3 of the game.
Oh my goodness, the fans are on their feet!
We were on our feet. That is absolutely incredible. That's so deep.
It's just been going CoLA's way here, especially in the 2nd half, as the students of CoLA rise as one to their feet. They love that. And it's a 66-49 lead for the team from South London.
And Abby Decken, 14 points personal with those 4 threes, but she's a player that's been averaging 4.9 so far this season. She has stepped it up when she's needed to, off the bench.
Absolutely, yeah. And hitting from that deep, wow.
I think it was practically all the way from the CoLA Academy.
2:42 remaining, and CoLA firmly in the ascendancy. If there's one thing, though, that Ipswich had in their favour, is CoLA are over the limit. They're in the penalty. Ipswich with just 1 team foul thus far.
And I think you really want to try and take advantage of that, don't you? Like Chris has been saying, go inside, drive the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just insane to see that CoLA is 42% from a 3-point line.
Way above their average.
I don't think I've ever even thought that would happen in this kind of game. Ipswich against CoLA, to see that CoLA's hitting more than Ipswich.
It's flipped, isn't it?
It has. It definitely has.
And another steal. That's 18 turnovers for Ipswich. Diorama Oswede. That's deflected, so Hubble can pick it up.
And she knew that.
Diorama, shot clock at 9. Diorama attacking, throws it up. And Adora Diorama, I think, will head to the strike.
Yeah, shooting 2.
And that's a second foul on Harriet Wellham this afternoon.
Yeah, I think she was a second late there.
Adora Diorama just 49% from the stripe this season, but has got it done in so many other ways. Not just today, but this season as well. As mentioned, 12.7 boards in January's Under-18 Women's Cup final against Ipswich. You could reel off so many statistics from these two teams, can't you, against each other? They've played so many times over the years.
Absolutely can. But that's really fun.
Just adds to the fun, doesn't it? As Abedeckan comes out, Lovell Green checks back in.
And for Ipswich, a team that averaged 78 points per game, 49 here.
And another miss, this time from Maddie Warmold. And Isla Habel has it as we enter the final 2 minutes of the WNBL1 division season, or playoff season. Here is Diorama.
And CoLA has time now. They are playing long. They are not rushing anywhere. Ipswich is the one that needs to score. CoLA can just do the 24 seconds.
Diorama blocked by Gibbons. And that's a shot clock violation. Second block of the game for Louisa Gibbons. 13 points, 13 boards for her this afternoon. And Ipswich, you know, looking at the barrel of a defeat here, but she has been absolutely fantastic, as has Harriet Wellham today.
She has, and she's a player going to be heading out to the University of Vermont in NCAA Division 1 in September.
Yeah, she misses the three there. And it will go out of bounds and right into the hands of Luke Doe as CoLA will get the ball back. And Eva Grace Yabia coming back in for CoLA, and into the game is Alexandra Myhol for CoLA. So Jackson Gibbons stretching the bench out now for the final 90 seconds. Diorama at the elbow. Can't get the fall on the follow as Yabella. Can't get that to go either. Hannah Gray not giving up the fight. Falls to the ground, still finds Maddie Warmold, and Hannah Gray is gingerly getting up as well. We speak about her injury issues over the last 3 years. That's a second foul on Lovell Green. As Maddie Warmold will head to the foul line. 4 points today, you can make that 5.
And that's really tough. She... 5 points for her in the game is really,
2 of 12
really tough,
from the 2 of 12 from the field as well.
Yeah.
So this is her first trip to the stripe. She nearly made them both, 1 out of 2.
That was virtually through the net.
Every player's worst nightmare, that. Diorama, as you say, Chrissy, methodical in their approach right now, CoLA. Hubble. 4 to shoot for Isla Hubble. And that'll be a shot clock violation as Alex Mile couldn't get the pass off in time, and 3 more players coming in for CoLA. As Maddie Warren checks in, as does Rachel Madhu. And CCID is another player coming back in. She briefly appeared in the second quarter. Now we'll see out the final 45 seconds. CoLA can taste victory, can taste back-to-back playoff titles here in the Northwest. Warmold misses the 2. And Mihail will bring it up. Yebel misses the 2 under the hoop. That was blocked from Ensel. Gibbons gets it back. Ensel will put up a 3. And that's off to the right. And the final seconds will tick down. It's a delightful double for CoLA as they repeat as Division 1 playoff winners. And that's what it means.
it's so hard to do, to go back-to-back 2 playoff final titles in a row, to win the league as well, and then to do it again in the playoff final. They've been such a strong team all season. It's so great to see them celebrate out there on court.
Three years now, they've won the playoff title. Since 2021, this is their 3rd playoff title. That just speaks volumes to the academy they have, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think they really deserve it today. They stepped up and they really played amazingly. Those 3-pointers, wow.
And to hold Ipswich to 50 points, that is our lowest scoring game of the season. CoLA held them to 55 with a win in the regular season, and Manchester held them to 55. So a huge defensive game from CoLA.
And just to put that into context, Ipswich 78 points a game, which is an incredible testament to what CoLA have done here today. A thoroughly deserved championship for CoLA, and as you say, the double for the London team. And Jackson Gibbons still having a chat. The struggle never stops for him, does it, as he chats with Brian the Guru.
And for CoLA to do this as well with some players out, obviously the loss of Chloe Bello is huge for them, but they've got the next woman up. They have players that will step up. And, you know, like we've seen today off the bench, Monife Abidekin, 14 points with those huge 3-pointers.
Isla Habel with 17 points, leading all scorers for CoLA. Abidekin, as you say, with 14, and Diorama with 15. Harriet Wellham leading the way for Ipswich with 16 points as their playoff championship drought stretches. The last time they won it was over in Nottingham in 2021, and that was against CoLA as well, but falling short here today. As
and it's tough for Ipswich because they've played a great season, you know, all season long. They've been so entertaining, so fun to watch, and like Chrissy said, the threes didn't fall for them today, but you know, they shouldn't have, you know, sometimes it just doesn't, does it? It's just not your day for it. But they're a team, they're so strong, they've been so tough, and you know, we're going to see them back, and the players that they've got, the development that they have coming through the academies, obviously players like Louisa Gibbons will be heading over to the States, but they've been so good throughout the course of the season.
And as you see, Nick Drain there, just a resigned figure, but there's nothing to be ashamed of, Chrissy, for Ipswich. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They won the National Cup in devastating fashion back in January, narrowly missing out on the league title. They were, you know, top of the table for a vast chunk of it. They've been an absolutely incredible organisation this season. It wasn't to be today, but they've got a lot to be proud of, haven't they?
Absolutely. I think Nick Drain is just an amazing coach, and his recruitment, like Ipswich, is always so good. The young players come up there, and they just, from the WEABL to Division 1, it's just, yeah, they're just very talented club and very talented team, and it's a shame today, but it wasn't the day for them, and the threes didn't drop, and they couldn't do anything for it. So yeah.
And both organisations, they say the pathways that they've got and the players that and the development that they have is just, it's so crucial to the game in this country.
As the table officials and the referees getting their medals from Basketball England CEO Stuart Kellett and Basketball England board member Matt Newby. And earlier today, or earlier this morning, there was a nice fun clinic for the future generation of female ballers, Her World, Her Rules, taking place here, which was led by several Manchester Mystics players and coaches, as they will help award the medals to Endeavour Ipswich basketball. And even though it's defeat today and glum faces for them, understandably so, they can hold their head high for a fantastic season.
Oh, absolutely they can, and you know, it just shows that we've said it all season. You know, it's kind of anybody's game when any team matches up against each other, because the parity in the league this season has just been so good. And we know CoLA and Ipswich, it is such a battle, as we said before the start of the game. And you know, today it just wasn't Ipswich's day, but they're going to be back. You know, you get so used to seeing these names in the finals because of how well they work throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said as well, that this is one game. Next season they'll be back, and we'll probably see Harriet Wellham again next season, leading that team.
Dropping 40.
Yeah, exactly. And leading that team to another, hopefully for another winning season. But yeah, they did really, really well today. But like I said, 3 didn't drop, so.
And the winners will start to celebrate as the winners' medals will be handed out to the CoLA Southern Pride, the City of London Academy. A thoroughly deserved victory here today. It took a second half shutout to get it all done, as the youngsters from the Her World, Her Rules sessions will hand out the winners' medals proudly to another set of youngsters, the teenagers from the City of London Academy. A proud moment for them. Winning doesn't get old, but each win is always more, you savour it more the latest one you get, don't you?
Yeah, definitely, and you know it's gonna mean so much to players out there like Chandra Jones-Dyer, one of the older players on this team. I should say veterans, sorry, not older, shouldn't I? And you know, and Jackson Gibbons and Coach Brian Nguru, they've won so much throughout the years alongside Jay Williams, but yeah, each one is just going to feel even better, isn't it? Because you're doing it consistently.
Absolutely, and holding Ipswich to 4 points on a fourth quarter is outstanding defence. Amazing.
Well, we mentioned the coaching staff of Gibbons, Nguru and Williams. Of course, Jay Williams, the Division 3 Men's Pool 4 Coach of the Year, and assisting Jackson Gibbons and Brian Nguru as the MVP will be announced.
I mean, it's a tough call,
Rebounds, 9 rebounds and 17 points. The number 8.
It's Isla Hubble, and that's a thoroughly deserved MVP. She can't believe it, but she will head to Basketball England CEO Stuart Kellett and board member Matt Newby and the youngsters from Her World, Her Rules, as Isla Hubble a deserved MVP.
Oh, well deserved, and she really turned it on in the second half. Had those 2 points in the first half, 15 in the second, and just came up clutch when she needed to, when her team needed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Wilson Golden Ball is hers, and now there is one trophy left as the students from CoLA, as Chloe Vella, of course injured and out for the season, will pick up the trophy. It's time to celebrate as the Pride come back with yet more silverware. A great end to a fantastic season, culminating in the City of London Academy lifting the WNBL Division 1 Playoff Finals trophy. Congratulations to them. It's been a fantastic season. Of course, Chrissy, you were a part of it as much as anyone else. One of the most competitive WNBL seasons in recent memory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great season, and it's been really great to watch so many new players, younger players step up, and Isla Hubble is one to watch for sure. She very deserved, well-deserved MVP today as well.
And CoLA just continue the legacy of the organisation. So 5 playoff final wins now, tying Northampton on 5. A bit behind the Hatters on 14, but they're really just continuing to be excellent and continuing to win out on court.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, it used to be the Sheffield Hatters, the Ronda Rebels and the Newark Archers. But their own dynasty here for these two teams is being created, but the City of London Academy have come out on top today, 67 to 50.
Taking their 5th title here at the National Basketball Performance Centre.
And a lot for Isha Nye and Hannah Alty to chat about as we prepare in just a moment for the NBL Division 1 playoff final between the Reading Rockets and the Milton Keynes Breakers. And Jackson Gibbons just congratulating Harriet Wellham there. Great sign of sportsmanship. That's very typical of Jackson Gibbons. And Isla Hubble with the Wilson Golden Ball in hand is standing by in just a second with Isha Naya. As you see, the CoLA players still in jubilant mood here in the Northwest. But Isha is with Isla Hubble.
Sorry. Yes, thank you, John. Right, I'm here now, courtside of Isla Hubble. Isla, amazing performance, 17 points, 9 rebounds. How does it feel to take home that golden ball?
It's amazing. Most importantly, we won a championship. But yeah, I really love my team. Like, we did it together. Yeah, and everything. Like the whole of this week, we were training really hard, pushing ourselves, and this is how we won today.
Yeah, so looking at the rest of the season, you guys didn't make WABL finals, cup finals, you didn't quite make it there, but you did win the league and you were able to win here today. How much more does that mean to you then because of that?
It feels like great because, you know, we lost, so we didn't want to feel that pain again of losing, and we hated that. So the only way to do it is win. Yeah.
So what the celebration is going to be like here?
It's going to be crazy. We have a long way home, so we're going to be celebrating all the time, the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Congratulations on the win in the MVP, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Back the tears. A very proud moment for her in such a tender young age. A whole life ahead of her, and my goodness me, she's going to savour this moment tonight, isn't she, very quickly?
I'm so excited to just see like how she develops throughout the years.
It's going to be a heck of a trip home back to the capital for Isla Hubble, and also for Jackson Gibbons, who is with, or trying to be with, is with Isha.
I'm here now courtside again with Jackson Gibbons. Jackson, I'm glad that I'm here to see you again now because that means you got the win. So how does it feel to take home that win now?
Yeah, super proud. The girls have been brilliant this season. Minimal controversy. You know, they're teenagers. We go through teething pains. We had 2 girls who had season-ending injuries, which we wanted to celebrate. But honestly, they've been a joy. Sometimes we have some culture stuff go on, and they've been fantastic. We've been riddled with adversity as well, with health and different things. So yeah, super proud that they could overcome it. And credit to Ipswich, they're a fantastic team. They push us all the way, and like I said before the game, is really, as Nick said before, you know, whoever played better was going to get the win. So yeah, kudos to them. They had a great season as well.
The CoLA Ipswich kind of matchup is a matchup that we see quite often in finals.
Right.
Because you play that team so often, is there kind of different preparation that goes in, or do you think it's quite similar preparation?
If I told you that, then they'd have an advantage for next year, so maybe I can't. But no, the teams know each other so well. We kind of know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do, and it is just, you know, whatever happens. We had a really bad second quarter, and halftime was a bit glum for some reason, and so one of the main focuses was just telling the girls to pick up the energy. I want to say a couple of thank yous if I can before I go. We have a sponsor, Pupil Progress, who's been sensational for us this year, and then just thanks to everyone at the school. Like, we have an advantage, I think, over everybody because we're so well supported and everybody's so invested, from our head teacher all the way down from everybody else. So yeah, just thanks to everyone at City of London Academy, and thanks to our sponsor this year as well.
So how's this celebration going to be then when you go back?
No celebration for this because the girls have Final Four next week, so back to work. They're going to have a focus on, you know, hopefully, you know, doing well next week, and then we'll just, yeah, we'll be back to work. But they are, like, every year we have different groups and we retool and start again, and I've been particularly proud of this group's maturity and their willingness to buy in and be invested. So yeah, really good group and very, very proud of them. So yeah, it's a good way to finish the Division 1 season.
Yeah, really good job on the win today, Jackson. I hope you can do the same thing again next week.
Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Great interview as well. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Isha, and that wraps up this season as Jackson comes over and just exchanges handshakes with us all. But that ends the WNBL Division 1 season, a thoroughly competitive one, culminating in the CoLA Southwark Pride, getting the job done against Endeavour Ipswich basketball. My thanks to Chrissy Karpova, my thanks to Kaz Bullock. It's been a fantastic day of basketball thus far. There is one more game to come as the Reading Rockets and the Milton Keynes Breakers will culminate the Division 1 men's season and the Basketball England season all together. Join us in just a bit for that on the Basketball England YouTube channel. But for now, goodbye.